Hello, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we will look at how to reference your work using a referencing tool. So you're conducting your research and you're wondering how are you going to manage all these citations and literature and references that you're going to use in your work. And that is why in my previous videos, I have already been recommending that you should have a referencing tool as a researcher or as a student that is conducting a research. And some of the referencing tools could be Mendeley, which we are going to go through here today. And then also you could have Zotero, or you could have EndNote. And all these are great referencing tools or referencing managers that you could use. In today's video, we want to look at how to reference your work using Mendeley Referencing Manager. Of course, the first thing is for you to download the referencing tool, and it is available free on the internet. So when you go to your web browser, you can search for Mendeley. You type Mendeley and then you download the Mendeley from the website. As soon as you register for the software, now the next step to follow is to come to this tool section over here at the menu section. Now you click on tools, and there are two basic steps you need to complete before you can use the software. The first thing is to install Mendeley Web Importer. Now this is what will make it possible for you to pull all your citations into the software. You don't need to copy and paste. Even though there is the option to manually add, you can directly pull all your citations into the software if you have this particular web importer installed or integrated into your web browser. The second thing is also to install Mendeley site for Microsoft Word, and that is very important because that is what you need to actually cite your work inside Microsoft Word. So first of all, we click on Install Mendeley Web Importer. Now when we click on Install Mendeley Web Importer, it brings us over here. Alright, now we can see our Get Web Importer for Edge. I already have my Mendeley Web Importer integrated into my web browser, and that is so important for the purpose of what you're going to do. So when you click on this and you are still not seeing this particular button over here, you come to your extensions and you make sure that your Mendeley Web Importer is visible by just checking or unchecking this particular button over here. Now the next thing is that we want to go back to Mendeley and then also install the Mendeley site for Microsoft Word. So we quickly click on that. It brings us to this particular page in the web browser. Now you want to click on Get It Now, and remember to use the account that you use in registering for the software. Alright, obviously before you finish your registration, you might use your email to do that. So that email and password you use that same email and password to sign in. Now as soon as you sign in, it is going to redirect you to your Word document with a sample reference, and you can decide to uncheck that. So it shows you that the process is complete and you have Mendeley site well inside your web browser. Alright, now that we have Mendeley site inside our web browser and we have the Mendeley Web Importer, let's look at how you are going to cite your particular work. So I have this example Word document over here that I'm going to use, the Lorem Ipsum document that I'm going to use for an example. The first thing is that I want to get the paper. So I've made a statement over here. I've made a very long statement over here. And this particular statement I made, I got it from a particular work. Obviously, it is not my own statement. I picked it from a particular work and then make sure I put it into my own word for the sake of plagiarism, and it becomes my statement. But because I picked it from a particular citation, I need to reference it. Okay, and here is where I need to go back to where the paper was. So for instance, I got the paper from PubMed, and the paper talks about hypertension. So I'll use pulmonary hypertension as an example citation. Let me quickly click on that. Now with this pulmonary hypertension, I made a statement over here. I picked it up and then changed it into my own statement, and I want to reference this particular statement. Now, because I have this Mendeley web importer here, I can just click on it. It brings this particular drop down pane where I can see the article I want to reference, specifically this particular topic, pulmonary hypertension, a contemporary review. I can see the date it was conducted and then see if it is within the particular date I want. There are other related citations that will also pop up. So I can go through any of them that is relevant to my work. I can check them. So I'm interested in pulmonary hypertension, a contemporary review. Now over here, if you have so many folders that you have created inside your Mendeley, and it is very important you create folders because you'll be conducting several research. All right, you can actually check any of them that you want. So these are all the folders that I have inside my Mendeley site. And if I want it saved in hypertension, for instance, if I have a folder on hypertension, I could choose that. If I don't have any folder like that I have created, I could just decide to leave it at my library and it will still be cited. But make sure you click on this add button to add it. When you add it, make sure that you see this reference check here. Now, if you see this reference check, what it means is that this particular Mendeley web importer is going to import or export this citation into your Mendeley. And the final thing is to come to your Word document where you are conducting your research. Click on this particular button, and there are 3 sections here. When you click on references, it shows you all the references that you are going to be using. When you click on citation settings, you can actually change the citation style. Now, when you click over here, there is Vancouver, there is APA, there is AMA, there is ASA, any referencing style. You can even search for other styles on the net and it will be put over here for you. Now, the last thing is that you can actually also insert bibliography, which I will talk about very soon. But here you want to update from library. Now, when you click on this particular button, what you are telling Mendeley site is that every new reference or citation that you have imported into your Mendeley site, you want it to appear over here at the reference section. All right, and one of them is this particular study, the pulmonary hypertension, a contemporary review, that I want to use. So if I want to use this particular citation, I just click on it and make sure that the cursor is where I want the reference or the citation inserted, and I could just insert the citation by clicking on it. Now, I see this because the referencing style or the citation style I'm using is Vancouver, as you can see here. And with my name over there because I have actually customized this particular Vancouver referencing style to look like this. If I choose the normal Vancouver, which is here, it will be like this, as you can see, the curly bracket around it. And I wanted it to be the other bracket, and that is why I actually edited it. And you can have that option to configure it to suit your preference. Mendeley gives you the opportunity to do that. All right, so you can reference as many works that you want over here as long as you've been able to import them from the Mendeley web importer. So for instance, let's just say I have so many works referenced over here. All these works, I have referenced them over here, and I have finished conducting my research. So let me insert these 5 citations over here, and let me use APA for better illustration purposes. Very good. And as you can see, I have all those references over there. Let me put it in red for visibility sake. Very good. Now, the last thing is that when you are done conducting your research, what students begin to have headache on is that, how do I remember where I kept all the references that I put together? Okay, how do I also format it to suit the requirements of my school? Here is where Mendeley gets you covered. Now, you don't need to fret over anything at all. All that you need to do is to come to your insert bibliography. When you click on insert bibliography, Mendeley gives you a warning. Your bibliography will be inserted at your cursor location. So make sure that you put the cursor at the location where you want to insert the bibliography. And the bibliography is the external referencing to all the in-text citations you have made so far. So when I click on it, Mendeley begins to pull every single in-text reference that I've used. So if I have about 100 of them inside my work, as long as I use Mendeley to do it, it will put all of them over here. Now, another beautiful thing is that whilst you're conducting your research and you remember to add something, if you remember to add any information to your work and then you want to reference it, the beautiful thing is that Mendeley would automatically add every additional reference that you make. So this new reference I added, clothes, will appear there just as you see. If I add any other reference to my work, for instance, this work, menstrual hygiene by Siwanyana Siwanya, if I insert it over here, very good. This particular study will automatically be added up, as you can see over here. So any additional reference that is made will automatically be added to the bibliography, and it keeps all your references organized. You don't need to write it anywhere, you don't need to keep it anywhere. Mendeley will do all the work for you if you go through the right procedure. And this is how you reference your work using Mendeley referencing manager. You can change, format it at any time. Even when you are done referencing your work, I can actually change this referencing style to Vancouver, and Mendeley understands exactly what I want to do. So you can see that this has changed to numbers. The reference that I use here has changed to 1 to 5 instead of using the ATA style. So this brings us to the end of this video. From now onwards, you should be able to easily reference your work without any help. Thanks for watching this video.